From Banquet Masters in Endicott, New York, this is the Bob Huckabone Television Show, starring author and former American League umpire Ron Luciano, artist Anne-Maria Zellamoyer, antique and collectible expert Bob Conley, juggler Gary Fiore, Mike Kinney and the big band sounds of the Jazz Exchange, and me, I'm Pete Kinney of WMRV Radio. The Bob Huckabone Television Show is brought to you for your enjoyment by SAWTELLE Travel, Exchange Street in Binghamton, the DANDI-LION in the Union District of Endicott, CAJODA Flower and Gift, Route 17C across from IBM Glendale, the MART at Castle Gardens, New Channels Corporation, Foster Valley Farms Ice Cream, Snake Creek Marine, Franklin Forks, Pennsylvania, ACME Cash Register, Main Street in Johnson City, Union Hardware and Variety in the Union District of Endicott, the Pocket Billiard Lounge in the Binghamton Plaza, Wagner's Cakes and Cookies, Banquet Masters in Endicott, Office Product Liquidators, 40 Jarvis Street in Binghamton, Joe SVOBODA for State Assembly Committee, and Liberty Carpet in Halstead, Pennsylvania. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the Triple City's favorite fisherman, father of the Carpy Derby, the Crappie Derby, and everything but the Kentucky Derby, Bob Huckabone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to our very, very first show here on Telepress 6. We've got quite a show lined up for you. And by the way, I'm not the father of the Crappie Derby. We're fortunate to have with us in our audience tonight the father of the Crappie Derby in Whitney Point. Dave Hughes is in the audience tonight. I didn't do very well with the Kentucky Derby either. Well, here we are. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got Ron Luciano with us tonight, Endicott's own author and a famed person, who in his, well, I'll tell you a little later on about that. We've got Anne-Maria Zellamoyer, the artist, with us. Bob Conley just came back from a trip to the Soviet Union. He'll be telling us about that trip and his visits in Leningrad. Also tonight, making his television debut, his public debut as a juggler, Gary Fiore. And and of course we got Mike Kinney and the Jazz Exchange. And from WMRV, we've got Pete Kinney, the afternoon drive announcer. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break now, and when we come back, we'll be on with the show. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Lee Reister, owner of Office Products here at 40 Jarvis Street in Binghamton. We're ready to deliver another load of high-quality, low-cost office furniture to another satisfied customer. Come and see me and I'll save you money on Herman Miller, Steelcase, and other top-name brands. Remember, we deliver, and we're open 6 days a week till 6.
Office Products Liquidators, 40 Jarvis Street, Binghamton, just north of Clinton Street.
Nick is kids.
Nick is...
Nick is... Nick is...
Monkey Man!
Nick is... Wow! Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is...
Huh? Hey!
Nick is... Wow! Nick is... Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is kids.
Can't decide what to give for a shower or wedding? Dandelion in Endicott has a great kitchen idea. Or two. How about dishes or pots and pans, cutlery, utensils, or bakeware, canister sets, dish towels, or coffee makers, platters or cheese boards, picnic baskets, wine glasses, spice racks or trivets, napkins or toasters, molds or mixing bowls, anything for the kitchen, everything for the kitchen in any style. Dandelion has a bridal gift registry to help you decide or can help you create a specialized gift in your price range. Come into Dandelion in Endicott for a suggestion. Or two.
At CAJODA Flower and Gift Shop, it's the little things that make life more cheerful. CAJODA is a certified FTD flower shop with complete wrap, package, insure, and shipping service. CAJODA specializes in beautiful fresh and silk floral arrangements. An ample supply of roses are always on hand from CAJODA's Garden Center. For balloons, plants, gift items, and more, remember CAJODA, Endicott's complete flower and gift shop, located on 17C across from IBM Glendale. MasterCard and Visa accepted.
Mike Kinney, the Jazz Exchange. Seated with me is Pete Kinney. Pete, are you any relation to Mike?
No, we just met tonight, but it's two sets of families, I bet.
Pete, how long have you been in broadcasting? How long have you been in radio?
Going on the 10th year.
10th year?
Yeah.
You don't look that old.
Sort of an anniversary.
Have you gotten over the Barry Manilow phase? At one time you had a license plate that said Barry Manilow.
Well, as a matter of fact, yeah, we did, and we enjoyed them the other night at the arena. My wife, I had to drag my wife to the show because she does not like Barry Manilow. She does now, though. She was a big
Tell
fan.
the people, you used to have a license plate that said Manilow on it. Why did you get rid of it, the license plate?
Well, it was causing a lot of problems. It was a white Trans Am, and my mother and father, when my mom used to drive it, people used to try to catch her because they saw her hair, they thought it was Barry Manilow. And I had girls follow me home like 1 in the morning, and I'd have to lose them before I parked. They'd put notes on the car. If you are Barry Manilow, I would like to meet you. Call me at this number. So I'd call, and say, I'm not Barry Manilow, but that's my car. But it was really...
You get dates that way?
Yeah, and I got a nice letter from Barry, and I met him before.
Now, the folks that probably don't know, they listen to you on the radio, Pete, they probably don't know that you've written a book.
No, and I'm glad...
Can I hold it up?
Sure,
at
I'm
this
glad to have
time?
the opportunity to be here for
I
that.
don't know if you can catch it. This is the book, I don't know if you can catch it there. Elvis Lives in Owego. Pete Kinney with Larry King. Now, I haven't had a chance to read your book, Pete. What's this book about?
Well, Bob, years ago, Elvis came through here right before he had the untimely death, I guess you'd say. Supposedly now, though, everyone's coming up with a different story that Elvis is alive. And he really, when he came through the area, he was fond of the food. One thing Elvis likes more than music is fast food. And the Binghamton area is fortunate enough to have more fast foods in a square mile than any other area. So this book that Larry and I did is basically tracking Elvis through the area. We still believe he's here. He goes about 450 now. And of course, the big thing about it is Elvis is broke because he left all his money to Lisa Marie. So he has a perfect job. He's a maintenance man at McDonald's. That way he can eat and get paid for it.
Okay, now, how do you know? Do you have any proof that Elvis lives in Owego?
Well, that's where Larry King came in, because Larry, you've heard of Larry King, right?
Sure.
Larry's a butcher in Appalachian. It's not the Larry.
No, the other Larry King.
No.
Okay, well, do you have any proof of any sort?
As a matter of fact, just last week we had another sighting. Elvis, or we'll say quote-unquote Elvis, rented one of those Slurpee trucks, the Mr. Softy ones, and drove it around and ate all the ice cream out of it and left it off, and the owner found it. But the big evidence is, right now we have a number you can call to hear the exclusive tape we had. We've had several recordings of Elvis ordering at drive-thrus throughout the southern tier.
You have a recording?
Yes, and I'm going to give you a preview right now. Now, if you want to call this number, it's $49.95 for the first minute and $2 for every minute after that.
Okay, now, and you have a recording, so you can prove now that
Yes.
Elvis lives in Owego.
Yeah, the area. I have a McDonald's, him ordering at McDonald's on the Parkway, and if you listen closely, he does say, this Parkway traffic is terrible.
Okay, now we have a
Yes, I have the
we got a
cassette.
boombox
I don't
here.
know how audible it's going to
Well,
be.
put it over here next to this microphone. Okay, and we're going to hear now Elvis. This is Elvis Presley on the Parkway, or
This is him on the Parkway at
Okay.
McDonald's. Now, it runs, his last words will be, thank you very much.
all right.
So let's see if
All
we
right.
can get this here on the air.
Good evening and welcome to McDonald's drive-thru. Could I take your order? Could I take your order?
Yeah, I like about 10 Big Macs, 25 fries, 13 milkshakes. How about a hunk of that hot apple pie? I love a hunk of that hot apple pie, yeah. That sounds real good. A hunk of that pie. I'll drive forward, thank you.
See, this is, obviously he's waiting for his order now.
Oh, he's waiting for the...
Singing the song.
Here comes the food.
Here comes the
Here
food.
comes the food.
Here comes the food. That's it.
I love McDonald's.
He loves
Oh,
McDonald's.
this parkway traffic.
Parkway
This
traffic.
parkway
Parkway
traffic is
traffic.
terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Another reason we can
Yeah,
we can document it is Elvis ordered chicken McNuggets and they didn't come out till the 80s. So
Oh,
you know
okay.
he passed away in
So
'77.
we know, and you can
So.
catch it right here in Pete's book. Elvis lives in Owego. Pete Kinney with that other Larry King.
And it's $89.95 at your
There you
favorite
go.
bookstore.
Pete Kinney, ladies and gentlemen. And we have now the Jazz Exchange. Okay, and Mike, take it away. We've had quite a warm summer, and we'll probably have a cold winter, however, Pete. Now, I have an idea for you. When it gets to be Christmas time and it's going to be cold and snowy and wintry, with nothing ahead Christmas time but New Year's and more cold weather before spring gets here, I have a Christmas gift idea for you from SAWTELLE Travel and from me. Now, you can give your family a super Christmas present. You put tickets for a Caribbean cruise under your tree.
Wow.
Okay? Tickets for the Queen Elizabeth II. Tomorrow's Superliner today. Okay? Now, this is the QE2. Can you hold that up there, Pete? This is the QE2. My wife and I were we went on a party cruise in June, and now in January we're going to January 3rd. We're going on a 10-day cruise to Bermuda, St. Martin, Barbados, Guadeloupe, St. Thomas, and we'll sail back into New York 10 sunny days later. There's almost no way to describe the QE2. It's just a super, super ship. There are 3 swimming pools. There are 3 nightclubs with live entertainment. The food's super. It's just a luxurious ship. You can find out how you can give the gift of a QE2 trip on a cruise, a 10-day cruise, January 3rd. Call SAWTELLE Travel. Say that 3 times fast, Pete. Call SAWTELLE Travel Service for details. They're at 723-7391. 723-7391. Go with us on the QE2, January the 3rd through the 13th. Okay, Mike, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Bob Connolly, with Anna Maria Zettelmoyer, Eric Dory, and Ron Luciano. Bob Connolly, stay with us.
Hi, I'm Joe SVOBODA for State Assembly. They sold our legislature. Let's get it back. Last election, they spent $13 million to stay in office. Whose money? Lobbyists, PACs, and special interests wanting to pass or kill legislation. Ultimately, you paid it all. If they can't handle crime and corruption by the legislature, how can they handle crimes against children, drugs, or pollution in our towns or neighborhoods? Let's show them you've had enough. Go with Joe SVOBODA to the State Assembly.
Isn't this a beautiful home? Hi, I'm Gail George, sole owner of Liberty Carpet in Halstead, Pennsylvania. I'm so pleased to show you this newly installed Stainmaster carpet on sale now for just $10.99 a square yard, complemented by this beautiful designer area rug. This kitchen is beautifully decorated with Mannington Never Wax vinyl at an affordable price. Mannington means quality, and I am the largest Mannington dealer in Northeast Pennsylvania. Let me help you decorate your home at these great savings.
Union Variety and Hardware in the Union District of Endicott is more than just your in-town country store. In addition to all the country store items such as plumbing and hardware supplies, stationery, greeting cards, housewares, beautiful decorations, and bow-making supplies, Union Variety and Hardware offers glass and window repairs, ice skate sharpening, and specializes in Pittsburgh paints. And now Union Hardware has added a new antique and used furniture section. Union Variety and Hardware in the Union District of Endicott. What a store!
Come to Roberson Center. Or is it Roberson? Wait a second, I think it's Roberson. But it may be Roberson. Wait, it has to be Roberson.
No matter how you say it, it's your museum.
Help conserve our forests. To find out what you can do, write to Forests, National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C. 20036.
Telepress TV 6, the newspaper channel, Binghamton, New York.
Pleasure to introduce at this time one of the most famous people to come from Endicott, New York, I guess besides George F. Johnson and Johnny Hart. Ron Luciano. Ron, thanks for coming over and being with us tonight.
Oh, I just came over for the meal, you know, banquet masters. Gee, thank you. That was good.
You are probably more famous now than you were a few years ago. You're traveling all over the country.
Well, my face sticks on you. You know, after you see it for a while, it just, you know, it bears in and stuff. Yeah, it is. It's funnier. I'm a little more well-known. Television does it. You know, that camera, it's unbelievable.
They love you in Canada, right?
Oh, I'm big up there. I'm big. They think I'm handsome up there. I guess they're not too bright, the people in Canada. I don't know. I get, really? I go up there and they, that guy's handsome. Look at him.
There goes the Tourist Bureau of Canada as a client, right?
Well, it's just,
You're doing
can't hurt them. There's only 22 million people up there.
You're doing a lot of television commercials, right?
I do TV commercials up there, but in Canada. And I did a few down here for a muffler company that went out of business and for something else that went out of business. I keep putting people out of business. There's a little scenario that runs, I'd hate to tell you this because your whole thing will do it. I went to Syracuse University way back before Pete was born, not you. But I left Syracuse University. I played football there. That's the only reason I went. Went there, played football, left in 1958. 1959, they become the #1 football team in the country. They said, leave in 58 or 7, you would have been #1 58. I went to Al Summers umpire school, year before he went bankrupt. Okay? It happened. Joined the American Baseball League for 12 years. Take a wild guess, Pete. How many All-Star games they lose in a row?
12.
12. You got it. Everyone. Boom. I joined NBC to do the game of the week. Baseball goes on strike. Boom. Don't want to do it. NBC said, don't worry about it. You know what we've got coming up? The Summer Olympics. You can do those. Except they're in Moscow. You know what happened? Carter heard about it. President Carter canceled the Olympics. The day I wrote my first book, the day after the printer printed 70,000 copies, shipped them out, the printer burned to the ground. And now I'm on your first show, Bob. Here we go. First and last. I hated to tell you, but that's it.
You guys don't have any sad songs over there, do you, Mike? Okay.
So, and that's what happens. I did a muffler commercial, went out of business. I'm in Canada. They called me up in Canada one day. This happens all the time. They called up and they said, this is it. You got to come up. We got something going. We've got the biggest thing in Toronto ever. Do you know that this is the 100th anniversary of baseball here? Did you know that Babe Ruth started here? It's a Babe Ruth in Canada? No, he started in...
Was that the Babe Ruth?
The Babe Ruth hit his first home run up there. They said, we had baseball here before they had baseball in Cooperstown. They said, we're having the anniversary and we want somebody big in baseball. I figured, wow, Luciano's big, you know, 6'4", 300 pounds. Okay, here it is, right? I figured I got to get the tucks out of the cleaners and stuff. And they said, listen, you know everybody in baseball. Do you know Joe DiMaggio's number? I said, big in baseball, you want Joe's number? That's why you called me up? They said, oh yeah, you can come up to the dinner and buy a ticket, you know, but we want Joe. Do you know his number? I gave him some guy's number down in Mississippi. They never found Joe.
Let me ask you something. A lot of professional athletes have not graduated from college. Right, Pete? Would you say agree with that? Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Did you graduate from Syracuse?
Yeah. A couple times. Once undergraduate, once graduate. Yeah.
What's your degree in?
Education administration, my master's, and my undergraduate works in mathematics. Yeah, I taught school in the area for a while. Don't you know how? You know why the people are so dumb with mathematics in the Triple Cities? I taught them. That's why.
See, you've got a master's in.
See, what happened was I went to school and I figured education. Everybody in my family's been teachers right along. I got a uncle Nick D'Annunzio who coached football here and the winningest golf coach in the history of the United States east of the Mississippi. Did you know that?
No.
More wins than any other high school coach east of the Mississippi, Nick D'Annunzio. He was
Pete knew that, though.
Pete knows everything. Yeah, hey, anybody can write a book about Elvis.
Yeah.
Knows everything. So all my people are educational background, so I figured I'd had to go into education, mathematics. I loved math, so I went in, calculus, the whole bit. Came out, played pro football for a few years, went back and got my master's degree in education administration. Came back, taught school, and found out I hated kids. There you go, 13 years of education, boom, down the drain. What are you going to do? I just really can't stand kids. I don't know what it is. Mark Twain said, you put them in a box, put a hole in the top, and feed them every once in a while. I go a step further. Put them in a hole in the ground. That's it. Put them in a hole in the ground, bury them. When they're 21, dig them up. If they're okay, then use them. If not, throw them back in for a couple more years. They drive me crazy.
Didn't you just do correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you do a video for kids, a baseball video?
I've done a lot. Well, Johnny Bench and I have been pretty good friends for years. Johnny, as a catcher, used to like me as an umpire because Johnny had trouble with his right eye. He had a dominant left eye, and his right eye he couldn't see out of. And he said, both of my eyes I can't see out of. So we got along very well because as an umpire I couldn't see, and he couldn't see out of his right eye. So he is a bunch, about 6 or 7 years ago, he did a thing with kids, and a show with kids, and so he had me on that, and then we did numerous other, I did about 10 or 12 after that. And that led me into a lot of things because he introduced me to Joan Rivers, and when she started her show, I went out and did her show, and then I'm a regular on her replacement show. Everything. I was on her first show. First week, saw what happened to Joan, don't you? But they keep bringing me back.
Oh, good.
I was Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall, on his first week, down he went. Guys by the name of Ross Schaefer's doing the show now, and I've been on about 4 or 5 times, and he's still there. So you've got hope, Bob.
Great.
Not you, Pete, but Bob.
What show are you working, or what are you working on now? You finished another book?
Yeah, my 18,000th book. It's just 4 books I've got out, and I'm working on my 5th one now. And the first one, they said, okay, do the story of your life. I said, okay. The second one, they came and said, do the second story of your life. I said, the second story of my life? So I did that. The third story, I ran out of lives. So what I did, I grabbed 15 ball players.
This one. This is the one. Okay, now look at this. Look at this cover. This. Okay, this is what, your 3rd book.
That's the 3rd one.
This is called the
Fall of the Roman Empire.
The Fall of the Roman Empire. How did they get you to pose in the toga?
That was, it was fun, really, because we went in, and the ones that did this cover, I walked into a photo studio, and they were all women. And they said, whoa, this is going to be fun, right? And they said, no kids. So I was happy there. And they said, okay, go in and put the toga on. And I said, a toga? And
you
said,
didn't know this in advance?
No, I didn't know anything what we're going to do. And they said, go in and put the toga on. Have you ever tried to put a toga on?
No, as a matter of fact.
With all the folds and stuff?
No,
I mean,
never have.
it's just not. Thank God the women knew what they were doing.
So you don't have a copy of your new book. What's the new one called?
The new one, Pete knows.
Remembrance of Swings Past.
See, Pete's literary. There was a guy by the name of Marcel Proust, who was a Frenchman who wrote a philosophical life story of himself, Remembrance of Swings Past, and I like puns. So this last one was Remembrance of Springs Past.
Okay.
But what we did, the first one, I was just a writer. Second one, I became an author. Third one made me rich. That one I like.
The third one?
Yeah, that one was good.
This one?
Now the fourth one.
It's because they bought it. Can you get posters? Is that what it is? Or?
I think that, the cover.
They didn't read the book. They just
cover.
Bought it because of the cover.
Now the fourth one, now I'm literary. Now I command respect. I mean, after 4 books.
What is the fourth one about?
Well, it's got multi-syllable words in it. I mean, it's a biggie. No bat, no Jim, no Mary. You know, they're all big. It's a history of baseball. We went from. See, I thought baseball never changed throughout the years. I thought it was the same because I umpired the same way. Didn't see anything. But it has changed.
Wait a minute. Tell the people how you would judge a call.
A call?
Base. Yeah. No, wait a minute. Out. No, wait a minute. Seriously, I guessed a lot, you know.
I found out that if I got the guys on my side to start with in the first couple innings, then I could miss in the later innings and they wouldn't do it. So I'd get behind first baseman like Mattingly, right? And he'd be there at first base in the first inning, catch a ball, and the guy's out by 20 feet. No question he's out. So I would stand behind him and tell 60,000 people he's out because I'd raise my arm in here. And then I'd get behind him so he couldn't see me and say, safe! Well, he would jump 30 feet and say, you dumb, stupid idiot, how can you call a play like that? And everybody's looking at me and like, why are you yelling at poor Ron, right? And I make an idiot out of him. He's not going to say anything the rest of the night, I guarantee it, right? I got him up. There were times in Cleveland when, in Cleveland, nobody goes to the ballpark in Cleveland. I mean, Mary and Jim. That's about it. You got 2 people in the stands. They keep yelling. See, when you have 60,000 people, all you hear is a You cannot hear individual voices. But when you got Mary and Jim in the stands in Cleveland, you hear every sound. And you can hear from further, why don't you come up here and call them? You know? So I did. I used to go in Cleveland, I'd go into the stands instead of working first base, and I'd sit next to Jim and Tom and the rest of them, and I'd take a little, the guy would run down to first base, and I'd take a little vote. Is he safe or out? How many saves out? You're out, kid. And the kid would leave. I'm telling you. In the paper the next day, best umpire game at first base we ever saw. Of course, I used to get fined for it, but that was.
What do you think? What do you think of the Yankees? What do you think of Billy Martin being booted out again?
I don't see again and again and again and again. I really believe that managers make a team. There are some managers that are going to lose. You put them on the field, and no matter what they do, Gene Mauch is a perfect example. Gene was in 28 years, never win. Oh, hey, every time he would come this close. He'd get that 1 strike away from getting in the World Series, and he goofed it up. Somehow, he would find some way to goof it up. He just had to lose. Sparky Anderson has got to win. Worst team in baseball this year, and he's winning with them. How can he do it? So managers, they can't hit the ball, they can't throw the ball, they can't do anything to win. But what they do is they inspire people to do better than they really can do. And a perfect example is a guy like Weaver, Earl Weaver, manager of Baltimore.
You're never going to get along with him, all right?
My nemesis. Guy could manage, though.
Okay.
The guy could manage. There's a guy by the name of Steve Stone, who was a pitcher, 10 years in the American League. He'd lose 2, right, and win 1. Next year he'd win 5, but he'd lose 9. Next year he'd win 9, but he'd lose 12. Always lost more than he ever won, till he goes under the tutelage of Earl Weaver. And in 1 year, wins 24, loses 5, becomes the Cy Young, the most coveted award in pitching. Why? He got good? No, he went under a great, great guy. You're going to cut. You're pushing me out of here.
Yeah,
let's do a commercial, and I'll come back and tell you about.
Okay, but wait a minute. Before you play it, I want to say a few words about Wagner's.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Wagner's Cakes and Cookies, the greatest cakes in the world, right? Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have Horst with us tonight personally to tell you about his cakes and cookies, so I'm going to do that for you. They're located at 46 Seminary Avenue in Binghamton. They've got the greatest cakes and cookies in the world, and stop by and tell them you heard about it right here on the Bob Huckabone television show, and say, Horst, we didn't see you on TV. We want to see, if you folks at home want to see Horst on TV, stop by Wagner's Cakes and Cookies at 46 Seminary Avenue. Tell them you want to see him on this very program.
Tell him I ate the cake, and that's why we can't show the cake.
Okay, Mike, hit it. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more.
Break away from the old routine and enjoy the fun and excitement of pocket billiards at the Pocket Billiard Lounge in the Binghamton Plaza. With 13 years at the same location, the Pocket Billiard Lounge offers something for the entire family. Pool, billiard, and snooker tables, ping pong, foosball, and an arcade. The Pocket Billiard Lounge offers something for everyone. We also have a full snack bar area and tables. The Pocket Billiard Lounge, frequented by world champion player Gary Pinkowski, offers a full selection of accessories for sale. The Pocket Billiard Lounge. Take the cue and have a ball.
Visit Snake Creek Marine in Franklin Forks, just 8 minutes off Route 81. Snake Creek Marine is an exclusive dealer of Mercury outboards and Mercury high-performance products, as well as a custom manufacturer of aluminum and fiberglass truck caps. At Snake Creek Marine, you can select your boat from the enormous stock and choose from the wide selection of boating accessories. Visit Snake Creek Marine in Franklin Forks, 11 miles off Route 81 at the Kirkwood exit, and follow signs to Montrose on Route 7.
So, Joe, why would people buy computers from the ACME Cash Register Company? For one, Acme's been selling computerized products in this area longer than most computer stores. And with names like NCR, Wise, Ozzycom, customers get the right product at the right price for business or home use. And we give large trade-in allowances on old computers. Right, Joey?
Right.
Come to Roberson Center. Or is it Roberson? Wait a second, I think it's Roberson. But it may be Roberson. Wait, it has to be Roberson.
No matter how you say it, it's your museum.
You never know what to expect from adopted children. This one became president. And this one went far in education. And this adopted kid dove into world fame. Adopted children are just like other kids. They're kids with great expectations.
Okay. The Jazz Exchange. Mike Kinney. Mike, tell us a little bit about the band.
Well, first of all, I should tell you, we love kids. Look in the band. We have Nicholas here, Pinella, the son of Vinny. See that? You going to be a football player? No? Okay. This is education night here. See, you mentioned education. We're educating. Well, the band is comprised of people from around the area, not necessarily full-time, I can pull this out, musicians. Actually, we have some people here that are teachers, IBMers. Armand. Now, Armand Olivano is a good example. Now, he's our lead trumpet player back there. What do you do? Did you hear that? He's an office worker. Okay? Okay. Mike Cuomo over here. He's a teacher. See, we love kids here. I'll drop that one. Okay, anyway, we have the Vinny Pinella here. Is from, he came from Boston. He comes down occasionally from Boston to play with us. And he plays in New York every weekend. He's a fisherman.
Yeah, all right. Hey, let's hear it for Vinny.
Fisher of men.
Yeah.
Karen here just had her first child, okay? And that was, actually, she's the only, now once in a while we have a few female guests in the band, but she's the only, the steady one here. And we have our resident jazz tenor player who never left the beatnik area, Richard Inch over there on tenor. Okay. I'll just sort of highlight, now Dick Pawarchik here, he's a Mr. Dick's carpet. Okay, when he's not laying carpet, you can find him betting money at OTB. Okay, so he's there. But everybody's, we keep the band alive here to play big band jazz because it's a very difficult thing to do. And for those people that don't know that, it's almost an impossible thing to do. Even when the big bands were flourishing, some of the nightmares of the band directors would say, look, you want a big band? The people that would finance these things, here's the band, here's the money, now get out of here, leave me alone. I don't want the problems, because it's really nightmares sometimes. But this band basically has been together for 6 years with very few changes in personnel. So we're fortunate. Everybody's here because they want to be here.
Okay, and where do you play on a regular basis?
Well, I'd have to say the most regular basis has been the Music Box in Johnson City, which is our area's only jazz club, and open Tuesdays through Saturdays, lunches, okay, and we call it the only New York club in the area. Other clubs think they're New York, but this is it, because it's small and intimate and elegant, and where else can you go hear a 15-piece band squished into a little room?
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it for the Jazz Exchange.
Yeah,
Mike, let's hear another song.
Boys, girls. Can we do one tune here for you? Can we do a tune?
Sure, yeah.
You like that? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Don't look so perplexed, okay? Big band music. Now, the music we've been playing really didn't make big bands famous. This kind of music did, the standards, and one of the all-time great standards. I know Glenn Gardner's in the audience. We'll have to buckle him down. He'll want to get up and sing this, but this is the great tune, the Satin Doll.
right after these messages. Stay with us.
Nick is kids.
Nick is...
Nick is... Nick is...
Monkey Man! Nick is... Wow! Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is...
Huh? Hey!
Nick is... Wow! Nick is... Nick is...
Nick is...
Nick is kids.
The Mart at Castle Gardens, inviting you to come see the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary. Beginning with remarkably comfortable futons, the Mart offers you the ideal bedding solution. Or shop around the wicker loft to find the perfect furniture set or that unusual gift idea. And come see rows and rows of bedding plants, flowers and vegetables, from petunias to tomatoes and more. Come see the difference at the Mart at Castle Gardens, 1715 Castle Gardens Road in Vestal.
For your next special event, plan to use the superlative facilities of Banquet Masters. Banquet Masters offers 3 private, well-appointed dining rooms with expert help in planning, arranging, and managing your business and social events. Banquet Masters is the place for your wedding celebration, your company meeting or party, or any special occasion. For more information, call the friendly people at Banquet Masters in Endicott. Banquet Masters, always in good taste, just off Route 17 at 1302 East Main Street, Endicott.
Union Variety and Hardware in the Union District of Endicott is more than just your in-town country store. In addition to all the country store items such as plumbing and hardware supplies, stationery, greeting cards, housewares, beautiful decorations, and bow-making supplies, Union Variety and Hardware offers glass and window repairs, ice skate sharpening, and specializes in Pittsburgh paints. And now Union Hardware has added a new antique and used furniture section. Union Variety and Hardware in the Union District of Endicott. What a store!
It's my pleasure to introduce at this time Anna Maria Zettelmoyer, who's from Towanda, Pennsylvania, who's a member of the Artist Guild Gallery of Binghamton. Anna Maria teaches at the Robertson Center and at the Tioga County Council on the Arts. Thank you very much for being with us, Anna Maria.
Thank you.
How long have you been painting, and how did you get into it?
Well, now I'm not going to tell you how many years I've been painting, okay? I'm only going to tell you that I have been painting most of my life. As long as I can remember, I was interested, kind of a way of life with me. My father was a painter, my grandfather was a painter, and I study art all my life. That's all I know, right? I know how to cook and how to paint. That's about it. And how did I get into it? I don't know how I got into it. I think I was born with it. I was born with it. My father was a sculptor, and that's all I ever wanted to do. As a little tiny kid, when I went to school, I wanted to paint, and that's what I'm doing.
I detect an accent. Can I ask where you're from?
I'm from Rome, Italy.
Oh, right.
That's why she could cook.
Okay, you brought some of your paintings. Do you have a favorite method of painting that you prefer?
Yes, I like watercolor, but what I want to do, what I do, I paint places that I would like to be. Okay, for instance, the first one on that winding river there, that's a place where I would like to be so many times. And I even make up colors that I would like to see.
You have never been there?
No, I've never been there.
Okay.
Sometimes the places that I paint are real, and sometimes the places that I paint are I just make them up. I make up colors, time of the day, whatever it is, flowers and so on and so forth. And sometimes the places are real, just like this place over here at the gate, that's outside of Rome. And why do I paint these things? I paint them because sometimes I imagine things. For instance, over the gate, I like to think that I'm on this side of the gate, and I like to think of the house that could be there. Okay, it could be.
Well, is this the outside or the inside?
I'm on the inside of this gate.
Well, we're on the inside looking out?
We are on the inside looking out. Because every time you paint something, you see people like to be on the inside looking in. Now, this is the other way around. Let's be a little different. But this one here, you imagine that right there is some sort of a quaint old home with a stone home with ivy growing and plants growing and so on and so on. Then you imagine the people, and I would like to be there, first of all, because it's a place from Italy. Okay, and I would like very much to be there from time to time. I love this country, but from time to time, I gotta go home.
Okay.
I gotta go home.
Tell us about the other one.
All right, the Bucks County, that's a real place. All right, I've been there. That's outside of Philadelphia, and I have been there. I like this place. I love it simply because it's a great big estate. And first of all, I like to be there because this is a huge, rich estate, and I would like to be there and own it, okay? As it is, I couldn't even afford to pay the gardener to take care of it. But this is a beautiful place, and I took photographs, and I went home, and I painted it.
Do you paint a lot from photographs?
I paint from everything. I paint from real life. I paint from photograph. I paint from slides a lot of time. Slides are better than photograph because it almost has a three-dimensional feel to it. And sometimes I just go there and paint. Okay, like this summer I was down at Assateague, and there is a beautiful ocean and wild ponies right on the beach. And I went over in my car and I got my little bag of watercolor and I painted the beach at Assateague. And these are the exciting things that I do. There is nothing in my estimation, of course that's all I am, I'm an artist, I paint. But in my estimation, there is nothing as beautiful as an artist's life. Now, you don't make a lot of money, that's fine. And sometimes you don't even become famous. And I understand that you only become famous after you're dead. And I don't want to be dead for a long time.
Well, can't you picture being dead and then
No, that's all right. No, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I just want to live and I want to paint. And this is what I want to do. And there is nothing like an artist's life. You know, sometimes we go to outdoor shows. And you take 2 or 3 people that get together, 2 or 3 artists that get together, and we go miles and miles away, and we get a caravan, you know, we go. And you go to these outdoor shows, and sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it rains, and sometimes the wind blows. And you wonder why in the name of heaven we do this. We do it because it is a great thing to do. I have more fun doing these things. And you go to these shows, and you got to wait for the right person to come that happens to need a painting, that likes your painting, and that likes that kind of a particular thing.
Anna Marie, I want to thank you very much for coming and showing your paintings, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for asking me. It was a pleasure.
We've been talking with Anna Marie Zettelmeyer from Towanda, Pennsylvania, and now I'd like to introduce in our audience at this time Glenn Gardner. Glenn is over here. Glenn is the proprietor of the Music Box. There you go. Sure. That's Glenn. Glenn has great jazz at the Music Box in Johnson City. The Jazz Exchange is there. They have a lot of great jazz at the Music Box in Johnson City. Also, I'd like to introduce in our audience tonight, Jim Craig from WENE is with us. And I'm especially proud to introduce in our audience tonight, and maybe we can have him come up, we have with us tonight Gary Fiore. And right here in front of our cameras, in front of our audience tonight, Gary Fiore is going to do something he has never done in public before, and this is the first time on television. Now, Gary is one of the owners of M&M Trophy at Riverhouse Lanes in Endwell. Now, Gary, I think we want him out front here. Is that right? Gary, can you come right out front here? Gary has been hanging around bowling alleys for a long, long time. Yes. Right? Okay, now, what Gary is going to do right here is juggle 1 bowling ball and 3 golf balls. 2 golf balls, I'm sorry. 1 bowling ball and 2 golf balls. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a silence, please? Maybe just a little bit of drum roll. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Fiore. Now, as an encore, are you ready, Gary? Okay, Gary now has never done this. And please, ladies and gentlemen, don't attempt to do this. If you're not a professional, please do not attempt to do this. You kids watching it at home, don't. This is a very dangerous thing, and we're only doing it under controlled conditions here at Banquet Masters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Fiore is going to attempt right here to juggle 2 bowling balls. We ready? We got the drummer. We ready? We're all set? Here we go. Whoa! All right. Woo! Hey, hey! All right. Never seen before, ladies and gentlemen. This is a first right here on this very program.
Can you paint that?
No, I need a photograph. Did anybody take a photograph?
Mike Kinney, the band got another song?
So, Joe, why would people buy computers from the ACME Cash Register Company?
For one, ACME's been selling computerized products in this area longer than most computer stores. And with names like NCR, WISE, ACME, customers get the right product at the right price for business or home use. And we give large trade-in allowances on old computers. Right, Joey?
Right.
Isn't this a beautiful home? Hi, I'm Gail George, sole owner of Liberty Carpet in Halstead, Pennsylvania. I'm so pleased to show you this newly installed Stainmaster carpet on sale now for just $10.99 a square yard, complemented by this beautiful designer area rug. This kitchen is beautifully decorated with Mannington Never Wax vinyl at an affordable price. Mannington means quality, and I am the largest Mannington dealer in Northeast Pennsylvania. Let me help you decorate your home at these great savings.
Can't decide what to give for a shower or wedding? Dandelion in Endicott has a great kitchen idea. Or 2. How about dishes or pots and pans, cutlery, utensils or bakeware, canister sets, dish towels or coffee makers, platters or cheese boards, picnic baskets, wine glasses, spice racks or trivets, napkins or toasters, molds or mixing bowls, anything for the kitchen, everything for the kitchen in any style. Dandelion has a bridal gift registry to help you decide or can help you create a specialized gift in your price range. Come into Dandelion in Endicott for a suggestion. Or 2. Come to Roberson Center. Or is it Roberson? Wait a second, I think it's Roberson. But it may be Roberson. Wait, it has to be Roberson.
No matter how you say it, it's your museum.
Help conserve our forests. To find out what you can do, write to Forests, National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C. 20036.
Telepress TV 6, the newspaper channel, Binghamton, New York.
If you're looking for good office equipment at a reasonable price, we recommend Office Product Liquidators, 40 Jarvis Street in Binghamton. They've got excellent office equipment at a low price. That's where the desk for this program came from, Office Product Liquidators. That's where the chair on which I'm sitting came from, Office Product Liquidators. They've got 3 floors of office furniture. Any kind of furniture you need for your office, see Lee Reister at Office Product Liquidators, 40 Jarvis Street in Binghamton. I think you'll find the equipment you need at the price that you'll like. Want to thank our guests tonight. Let's hear it for Ron Luciano, for Anna Maria Zettelmeyer, for Gary Fiore, for Mike Kinney and the Jazz Exchange. And our announcer, Pete Kinney. We want to mention that Bob Connolly, we weren't able to talk with Bob Connolly on tonight's program. Bob visited the Soviet Union. We'll be talking with Bob on a future program. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight. Thanks for watching, and thank everybody for being with us. It's a great show. You can say something here, Pete?
The Bob Huckabone television show has been brought to you by SAWTELLE Travel, Exchange Street in Binghamton, the Dandelion in the Union District of Endicott, CAJODA Flower and Gift, Route 17C across from IBM Glendale, the MART at Castle Gardens, New Channels Corporation, Foster Valley Ice Cream, Snake Creek Marine, Franklin Forks, Pennsylvania, ACME Cash Register, Main Street in Johnson City, Union Hardware and Variety in the Union District of Endicott, the Pocket Billiard Lounge in the Binghamton Plaza, Wagner's Cakes and Cookies, Banquet Masters in Endicott, Office Product Liquidators, 40 Jarvis Street in Binghamton, the Joe SVOBODA for State Assembly Committee, and Liberty Carpet in Halstead, Pennsylvania. For the Bob Huckabone Television Show, this is Pete Kinney. This has been a Bob Huckabone production.